Taylor, oh my. Entertain and educate, he's got the knack for making you laugh, and that's a fact. From wacky stunts to crazy tales, on MattTaylorTV, the fun never fails. Take a pinch of salt and a sniff of paprika, get ready for a wild ride. It's a new kind of media. Don't be shy, jump in and say hi with the host with the most, Matt Taylor, oh my. Every show's a blast, so have a ball with Matt Taylor, you'll love it all. From Brighton with love, it's the best you'll see, so hit subscribe, join the family. Take a pinch of salt and a sniff of paprika, get ready for a wild ride. It's a new kind of media. Don't be shy, jump in and say hi with the host with the most, Matt Taylor, oh my. Matt Taylor TV is the place to be for wacky, zany, and crazy glee. So don't be late, subscribe today. Matt Taylor TV is here to stay.
Welcome one and all. It's approximately 2 minutes past 8 on Monday, the 8th of September 2025, or wherever 2025 is in the grand scheme of things. Rest in peace, Rick Davies, lead singer of Supertramp. And what an amazing band Supertramp were as well. Lots of fond memories of Supertramp. In my opinion, one of the greatest bands ever to sing a song. So, I just want to get my background music going. Daydreaming in memory of Dreamer. Here we go. So I hope everyone's well. Like, you know, I'll be here for at least an hour. I feel terrible going live when other people are live, but hey, what can you do? You know, you can't do much about it, can you? Hey, you can't do much about it. But today we'll be discussing Rick Davies, rest in peace, lead singer of Supertramp. In my opinion, one of the best rock bands out there. And then I've got to talk about something, you know, quite disturbing really, and something I'd rather not talk about. But we're going to talk about, I can't believe I'm saying it, a Bolney Road pedo. Yeah, I was very surprised reading a news article today about this certain 35-year-old Daniel Elliott, who I was shocked to learn lived on Bolney Road. I mean, I am absolutely, it sends a shiver down my spine knowing that there's a dirty paedophile living on my street. And I'd just like to assure the audience, I've never met this Daniel. I've never seen him before in my life. And I'm absolutely disgusted that a disgusting pedo of his calibre could be living on the same street as me. Honestly, sent a shiver down my spine. In other news, I think we can have a sigh of relief. It looks like the 13th of May is going to be cloudy and overcast. So there's nothing stopping what could be the biggest march on London our nation has ever seen. I want to touch upon Adrian Allen, Theatre of the Mind's interview with Janet Percival. You may have heard Janet Percival. She was the ex-detective constable, the lead investigator in the Alex Belfield stalking case. I find it quite extraordinary that Adrian Allen should have Janet Percival on his YouTube channel talking about their shared, not so much shared, but their respective life experience, lived experience, as they say. So, of course, if you want to keep a drama running, do exactly what Adrian Allen is doing. I mean, I'm actually quite flabbergasted about it. We usually get retired police officers talking about the case that they'd worked on years and years afterwards, in documentaries style. But the fact that we've got Janet Percival now living in Costa Rica, Central America, giving interviews about Alex Belfield, quite extraordinary. And if you haven't seen it, I do recommend you go over to Adrian Allen's Theatre of the Mind and watch the I think it's part 1, part 2 of his interview with Janet Percival. And last thing on my list, which really should be at the top of my list, we're going to touch upon, let's pay some respects when you go into Kaylee's church. I find it quite extraordinary that we've got a group of grown men who literally cannot help but throw their misogynistic hate speech at and inside Kaylee's church. And their excuse is, metaphorically, well, she hasn't closed the door on us. If she doesn't want us to throw our misogynistic hate speech, she should close the door. I mean, absolutely quite ridiculous reason to give. It's implying that, we can't help ourselves. We're misogynistic through and through. And it's not our fault that we keep throwing misogynistic hate speech at Kaylee. It's her fault for not closing her church door. Absolutely ridiculous. So, first on the list, dreamer. You are a dreamer. Well, you can put your hands in your head. Oh no, I said dreamer. You're nothing but a dreamer. Well, you can put your hands in your head. Oh no. I mean, it's these kind of lyrics that I grew up on. Give it a little bit. Give it a little bit of your love to me. Give it a little bit. I'll give a little bit of my love to you. There's so much that we need to share. So send a smile and show you care. So you think you're a Romeo? You're playing a part in a picture show? Well, take the long way home. Take the long way home. Because you're the joke of the neighborhood. Why should you care if you're feeling good? Well, take the long way home. Take the long way home. I mean, as no doubt happened with you as well. Music shapes one's life, shapes one's ideal. And of course, as Bruce Springsteen once famously said, you can learn more in a 2-minute record than you ever did at school. Hello, Brian. Good to see you in here, sir. How are you? Brian, of course, Brian Hurl of the Dream Team. Brian Hurl will be, you can bet your bottom dollar, getting on the Tommy Robinson stage come the 13th. Hello, Brian. I'm sure Brian is a fan of Supertramp. And of course, today's profile pic is in dedication to the unique and fantastic voice of Rick Davies, who has died today, age 83, I believe, or 81, maybe. I don't know. I should really write down these personal facts. Yes, thanks, Brian. I'm okay. As much as I can be. We live in a police state, and we don't know what's around the corner. And how are you? I hope you're okay. And thanks for taking the time to say hi. We all know YouTube. It's a popular place. Everyone is live at the moment. I think we've got Kaylee's live. We've got Jupiter live. And Adrian Allen is replaying his interview with Janet Percival. So what the point I'm trying to say is, I appreciate that you could watch a lot of stuff. I just want to say thank you for watching MattTaylorTV. I'm good, can't wait until Saturday. I know. The only person I feel for is Tommy Robinson, because he must be very nervous. He's having to organise such a huge event, costing 200,000 plus. And, well, you know, as Tommy Robinson describes it, he's putting on a concert. And, of course, it's all on his shoulders. Fantastic. I don't envy Tommy Robinson at all, but I wish him the best of luck. And of course, Brian, you know, I wish you the best of luck getting on the stage. That's going to be wonderful to see. And you know, you've been recently getting on Sean Atwood, and you know, you're a big guest, weren't you, in part of the 1 million subscriber event. So you're highly regarded, and I just hope you get treated with the respect you deserve on the 13th. So, you know, like I said, I've also been hearing the banter between you and Taffy, and I just hope you two don't go down the back alley for a little how's your father, because, you know, one spark and the whole thing can go downhill. And so, and I'm not applying this for Brian, of course, I'm just reiterating what Tommy says. Let's not get too drunk, okay, everyone? I won't be going. I'll be out with my son on Saturday, but I'll be thinking of you. I was on Atwood's. You don't miss a thing, mate. No, you know, I love my YouTube. I'm not going to deny it. I don't watch TV anymore. When I do watch, I've got a month's free on Prime. So I've been watching Jack Reacher, series 3, and I've been enjoying The Boys, which is very good. Yeah, me and Taffy just bantering, mate. I know you are. I mean, really, it's all banter, isn't it? It's all banter. And I know, and it's good. It's very good. It's positive that people are going to meet up, because it goes back to the old saying, you certainly won't say what we all say online to someone's face, you know? It's a different kettle of fish. Saying what you say online to someone's face. But yeah, I know it's all banter, and I think you'll all end up the best of friends. And you know, after the event, you can all bond over a pint of beer and a gin and tonic chaser. Hello, Slarty Bart Fast. Brian Hurl, for fuck's sake. It's all banter. Remember, it's all banter. So, let me show you this absolute I'm absolutely shocked. I've never, you know, not usually lost for words, but this absolute toe rag has been living on my street. I was not a happy camper to read this in the news today. Fucking hell. I mean, absolutely fucking hell. I was even more surprised a Brighton man who repeatedly raped and sexually assaulted 2 young girls and a boy has been in jail for 16 years. Daniel Elliott, 35, of Bolney Road, Brighton, abuses 3 victims over 7 years up until 2020. That was the same time my own kids, were on Bolney Road. And I tell you, I'm fuming, knowing that this piece of evil lives on the same road as I lived. And I like to just stress that I've never met him, and I've never seen his paedophile face. But yeah, it's a shocker. Absolute shocker. He's nothing like me, thank you very much. He's nothing like me. And I don't look, you know, I don't mind a bit of banter, but don't start putting me in the same category as this piece of vile evilness. And I don't know what number he lived at. I just want to stress to the audience that I've never seen him, and I feel sick to the stomach that we've got such a dangerous pedo living on the same street as me. Absolutely horrendous. I heard Moleskin was a dump. Yes, I mean, to be fair, it's you know, it's changing its image. But when I came to Moleskin, I just come back from being in the Bahamas with the mother of my children, and we came back and we stayed at my sister's in Moleskin. And that same weekend, we came back. There was a murder in Moleskin, and someone got murdered with a samurai sword. And so, yeah, but thankfully the neighbourhood has been improving. We had the Keep, Brighton and Hove's archive. That was opened by the Queen on the 31st of October 2013. Let's see if I can get that up for you. The Queen opens the Keep 2013. Let's see it. It's actually an original video by myself, actually. Let's see. No, we can't seem to get it. I'll try and see if it's in the good you never saw him. Tell me, mate. Well, the thing is, it goes to show you don't know who the hell is living on your street, do you? You could be living next to an evil pedo and you wouldn't even know it. No, but I tell you, I was shocked. I was absolutely horrified to learn that that this individual was living on my street. No, I can't seem to find the video. Isn't that a shame? Oh, that's a shame. So it would have been good to play it. It's out there somewhere. I know that for sure. No, but I was absolutely horrified. It's a shocker. It's a shocker, that's for sure. And if I go to I'm determined to find it now. Oh, and another thing I want to examine is this Atlantis? No, sorry, Atlas, 3i Atlas. I mean, what's all that about? And I think it's a very interesting discussion to have. You know, will the aliens come in our lifetime? I think they may do. I think they may do. Just when you want something, you can't find it. Typical. Talk amongst yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves. Doom, doom, doom. Do, do, do. Do, do, do. Come on, Queenie. Come on, Queen. Where the hell are you? The day the Queen came to visit. That's what I'm looking for. It's there somewhere. I remember. Oh, here we go. Yes, I've called it rule. This is a glimpse of my neighborhood. Okay. This is a glimpse of my neighborhood. Share screen. Here we go. Here we go. Hope you enjoy it. Add to stage. There we go. Rule Halloween. 31st of October 2013.
We're off to see the Queen on Halloween's Day.
She's a rich girl, she don't try diamonds on the soles of her shoes. He's a poor boy, empty as a pocket, nothing to sing ta-na-na, ta-na-na. She got diamonds on the soles of her shoes. Ta-na-na, ta-na-na. She got diamonds on the soles.
That's my son.
Diamonds on the soles of her shoes. Diamonds on the soles of her shoes. Diamonds on the soles of her shoes. Diamonds on the soles of her People say she's crazy, she got diamonds on the soles of her shoes. Well, that's one way we use it. Diamonds on the soles of her She was physically forgotten, but then she slipped into my pocket with my card.
Historic moment for Osgood, that's for sure.
Wearing his diamonds. And I can say, as if everybody knows what I'm talking about. As if everybody would know exactly what I was talking about. I'm talking about diamonds on the soles of the shoes.
We're nearly there, Louis.
She makes the sign of a teaspoon, he makes the sign of a wave. The poor boy changes clothes and he puts on aftershave to compensate for his ordinary shoes. She said, honey, take me dancing, but they ended up by sleeping in a doorway by the bodegas and the lights on over Broadway, wearing diamonds on the soles of their shoes. And I could say, ooh,
Especially directly at me.
everybody, you know what I was talking
That's where she looks
about.
right at me.
I mean, everybody, you would know exactly what I was talking about. I'm talking about diamonds.
the Queen. That was the Queen. Oh. That was the Queen coming to Molescoom, 31st of October 2013. And of course, since then, there's been a lot of developments going on in Molescoom. So yeah, it has had a bad reputation, but it's going up in the world, don't you know? It's going up in the world. It's a student borough, really. There's a lot of students in Molescoom, but then again, there's lots of families as well. And we've got another set of developments. We're getting there's been a lot of student accommodation gone up, but we're getting a new local clinic, etc., etc. So yeah, I mean it's a nice place. We've got King Arthur Country on the backyard, so we're on the outskirts of Brighton, and it's good people. Good people out. Well, I say good people. Fucking, I was shocked, absolutely shocked and horrified to learn that a certain Daniel Elliott, 35, of Bolney Road, has just been sentenced to 16 years imprisonment for the most hideous crimes against children. So that actually absolutely sent a shiver down my spine, because he would have been living on Bolney Road at the same time as my kids were living on Bolney Road. And of course, it's not just my kids, it's all the other kids on Bolney Road. So yeah, absolutely horrified to come across that article. In other news, 1,000 immigrants crossed on Saturday via Dover. That's a bit shocking, isn't it? More pertinent than ever that we've got a march on London, you know, expressing a concern exactly about that. Rest in peace, Rick Davies, lead singer of Supertramp, one of the best bands, in my opinion. We are gonna. Well, I do want to look in more to this Free Eye Atlas. I mean, what is that all about? I know it's got a lot of people excited. I still don't really understand. My experience of stuff like this is all a bit of an anticlimax. It most probably just be a meteorite flying by, you know. But hey, what if it's something different? And that's something I think is a great conversation to have, and I'll certainly like to have it with you, the audience. You know, are the aliens coming? And you know, there's every probability that it would happen in our lifetimes. And wouldn't that be an amazing event to be witness to? I just hope to God it isn't all faked, because you know that'll be as bad as learning that the moon landings were faked. You know, we've got to have something real happen to humanity once in a while. You know, a true event. So that's something I'm looking forward to. But another thing that puzzled me, baffled, as some people would say, you know, this Janet Percival, the ex-DC, the lead investigator in the Belfield stalking case, she's retired now, living in Costa Rica, and she's on the Adrian Allen Theatre of the Mind YouTube channel talking about the case. And, you know, it's wow. I mean, talk about keeping a drama running. That will definitely keep the drama running. And I was actually quite surprised that both Adrian Allen and Janet Percival think it's a good idea to keep the drama running by giving Alex Belfield that kind of attention. Perhaps it's a thing, you know, a thing to come. But I personally haven't watched it. I don't particularly think Janet Percival came across too credible myself. But hey, who am I? I'm just an ex-Royal Military policeman, and you know, a member of the audience just like everybody else. And then again, I've got last thing on my list, while it should be the first. You know, let's all pay some respect to Kaylee, especially when you're in her church. I think absolute excuse to say that it's Kaylee's fault that the men will come in and throw misogynistic hate speech. It's Kaylee's fault because she doesn't ban them. Absolutely ridiculous. It's like putting your hand up saying, listen, I can't help myself. I'm a misogynistic hate spreader and I can't stop spreading misogynistic hate speech. And if there's a door open of a strong, single, hard-headed woman, I just cannot help myself but walk straight into that house and throw some misogynistic hate speech towards her. And it's not my fault. You've got to understand, it's her fault for not shutting the door on me. I mean, I haven't heard anything so ridiculous in all my life. And yeah, and there's one Mr. Degenerate who is, absolutely obsessed with her. And the stuff he comes out with is absolutely, I think it proves the perversion of his own mind. Because to say these dreadfully depraved and perverted, accusations against Kaylee absolutely requires him to think up these perverse and degraded, degenerate ideas in the first place. So these perverse and degenerate ideas originate in his mind originally. They have to originate in his mind originally for him to then kind of type them out and press enter. And I think that's what the wider audience aren't seeing in this. It's the classic case of projection. And it happens oh so often. And I think, we're all intelligent to an extent. We all understand common sense and common decency, and we can all see it. But there's a lot of members of the audience who choose to ignore it. And that doesn't help anyone, especially the kids. Kaylee, I think she's got every right, really, to rage against her abusers. I think it's a natural thing to do. When you're being abused, it's that fight or flight. It's the fight or flight reaction. And it's only right and proper for a warrior like Kaylee, a hard-headed woman, as Cat Stevens would have sung, to fight. Her fellow is on bail. Hey, listen, I've been in that position where I've been arrested and accused of hideous crimes, okay? And these accusations and allegations usually come from the people projecting their own perversion onto others. So I'm fully confident that a thorough investigation will result in no further action against Jake. Okay, that you heard it here from me, and you can quote that. I'll say it again for clarity. I fully expect that after a full and thorough investigation into the conduct of Jake, there will be no further action taken. Only because I've been there and I've seen it, and I've been at the receiving end of these criminals. I may hasten to add, these criminals who project their own perversions and crimes onto others. I mean, let me just remind the audience again. I was pulled in by the Prevent team for allegedly publishing comments calling for the Houses of Parliament to be blown up and that the immigration boats be shot at and sunk. Now, the crime is that originated from a fake Matt Taylor Facebook profile. So, please take the time to allow that to sink in. One of you out there, and you know who you are, and your accomplices know who you are, and I suspect who you are, you intentionally made a false Facebook profile account using my name and my picture, and then proceeded to publish nefarious and criminal messages with the intent to get me in trouble. And guess what? I did get in trouble. Okay? And I don't think for a moment he's been charged. Sorry. Yeah, you know, I don't think for a moment he's been charged. Hello, Mandy. Good to have you in the house. And look, you support John Winoa overthrowing others, throwing the establishment. I want the establishment to be overthrown, if that's what you mean. I don't. We live in a police state Britain. If you think we live in a right and just society, you're part of the problem, as far as I'm concerned. So I will make no apology for wanting the status quo to be smashed into pieces and a new way of doing things introduced, a new regime, a regime change. I'm all for it. And don't make out advocating regime change is a nasty thing, because our politicians have called for regime change across the world, and they continue to call for regime change across the world. And if you think the millions that are going to march on London on this coming Saturday don't want regime change, you're barking up the wrong tree, quite frankly. You know, and so while I welcome comments, I do only ask that they're intelligent comments, and they're not comments designed to provoke, irritate, and troll. Matt, you support John Winoa, others throw in the establishment. Overthrow. Anyway, exactly, Matt. But millions marching are behind John. Listen, I don't understand. You're not even, and it's not your fault if you're a bit illiterate. That's no problem. But yeah, I'm a big supporter of John Winoa, and if he's got a plan to overthrow the status quo, I'm all ears, so to say. Oh, we got a new Billy from Brighton. An intelligent comment on dumb show makes no sense. I have no idea what he means. Are you behind him? It's a joke. Look, whatever. I think you're a joke. Your profile is a joke. Your username is a joke. And the fact that you can't enter in mature, intelligent conversation is a joke. So, you know, who's a joke? Jokes. Some people find one thing funny while another person would find it offensive. It's all part of the perception. Okay, you know, we live in a society in which two people can perceive the same event completely differently. So, you know, I refuse to go down the path of it is what it is. That gets us nowhere. But there are undeniable truths about human nature and the way we all react to certain stimuli. And it's science. Let's leave it as that. It's science. Look, I certainly don't think you're mature or intelligent, to be fair. I am mature. John is mentally ill and a joke. Well, that's what you say. I mean, I think you aren't intelligent. I think you're infantile, and I think you are mentally ill to use that profile and come on using that name. And I think you're a joke. There you go. Okay? Let's just, we can take it from there if you want. I don't know this Tracy Bark first. I've no idea what you're on about. And listen, it reminds me of something. I'm having so much trouble getting 3 people to subscribe. I'm having so much trouble. For goodness sake, I just need 3 bloody new subscribers. There's got to be someone out there who take pity on me and subscribe. For goodness sake. I've been doing all kinds of promotional videos, and I'll play you one. I'll play you one. And I tell you, it'd be nice to have a subscriber. That's all I say.
Subscribe to MattTaylorTV. He always gets my body moving. You know what I mean?
I don't know what she means. No wonder no one's bloody subscribing with promotional videos like that. Goodness gracious me. Who made that one? That was ridiculous. Let's see if we can do better, eh? Let's see if we can do any better. Here's another one. Here's another one.
Subscribe to MattTaylorTV. It's wacky, zany, and crazy, baby.
Yeah, that's much better. That's much better.
Subscribe to MattTaylorTV. It's wacky, zany, and crazy, baby.
Come on, surely I can have a subscriber. Don't be shy, jump on in and say hi. We're coming up to 15 minutes left. Hello, Mandy. Great to have Mandy in the house. John, yeah, whatever. Has Justin already used up his subscribe? No, I'm sure other people have though. But come on, surely I can have 3 subscribers. Here we go. Behave, Matt. John has Army, Navy, Air Force, Police, Secret Service or bodyguards, let alone all sorts of weapons. It's clearly impossible for him to claim the throne. He's got no intention of claiming the throne. So you obviously got what John Manoa was conveying completely wrong. And he got it wrong because you listened to the usual suspects. Rather than going to the source, you listened to the degenerates. You listened to the hoax police. You listened to the Gary Clarks. You listened to the Nathan Kirktons. And this is something came up recently. Shelley Moat said something to me, and there was someone said, Shelley Moat didn't say that because I went and asked Mr. Blackwell. And it's like, are you mad? You know, if Shelley Moat is alleged to have said something, it would be common sense to go to Shelley Moat and ask whether she said something or not. But no, these idiots went and asked Mr. Blackwell. And God knows who Mr. Blackwell, you know, has got to do with it. Oh, look, he called himself King. He called himself surrogate King William IV, actually. You know, this is a little thing. I'm not going to discuss it with you because you're an idiot. And, you know, just move on. Just move on. But to be technically correct, he never called himself King John Manoa. He called himself the surrogate King William IV monarch because he was claiming the role of King William IV, blah, 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 you know, blah, 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 blah. And if you're interested in catching up with John Manoa, he's still very active on Facebook. And so if you want to understand something, I always recommend going to the source. And that's something we were taught in the police when you're investigating. Go to the primary source. Don't go to Mr. Blackwell, for goodness sake, if you want to learn about Shelley Moat. Don't go to secondary or third sources. You go to the primary source to get prima facie evidence. I'm sure I mispronounced that along the way. Prima facie, feces, whatever. It's a load of fucking donkey dung to me. Yes, Mandy, it is. YouTube is another world. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I think you're full of crap. You're full of crap. I think John Manoa was an amazing bloke. I love men with ideas. I'm a big fan of blokes with ideas, blokes with vision, blokes with a story. You know, and you can call me mad if you want. Fine, it don't bother me. Okay, but we're all allowed to have our own beliefs. And I believe in people who have got grand plans, who've got big ideas, who go large. Okay, you're just a pathetic no one who can't even come on with your own face and your own name. So you mean nothing. Your opinion is jack shite. It's just YouTube. It's just YouTube. But, you know, I do enjoy getting a bit righteous angry, actually. I love getting my blood boiled up. I don't know about you. I find it a good thing. It makes me feel alive, man. It's just, you know, blood pumping. And I suppose, you know, I wouldn't have got my blood pumping if it weren't for complete and utter idiots like you coming on saying idiotic things. And I'm realising now that, hey, nah, idiotic idiots make the world a better place. It's good to get your blood pumping. It's good to get wound up because it makes you feel alive. And the only reason we get to feel alive and our blood pumping is because brain dead idiots like this one in the chat. So I'd just like to say thank you. Thank you for coming in and being an idiot, because idiots like you make the world a better place. Idiots like you make the blood pump a little bit harder. But ultimately, idiots like you give us something to point at and laugh at. So I do appreciate you coming down and saying hi, just like I appreciate everyone coming in and saying hi. But of course, I'd like to have a special shout out to Mandy Marlins. She's a dear member of the audience, and it's great to have Mandy in the chat. And also a big thank you for Brian Hill coming in. Yes, indeed. The Matt Taylor, Wacky, Zany, enjoy the show because it's all a bit of entertainment. Okay. And talking about Domino scam, I had then Tarragon coming on to to back up his claims that it was a scam, and he failed miserably. And the 3 points were thoroughly debunked. And so I just have to, for the purposes of the wider audience, anyone who goes around calling John Monoa a scammer and the Moai powerhouse a scam are actually idiots. But hey, the world needs idiots, okay? The world is a better place having idiots around because it just injects a bit of excitement. It injects a bit of fun. And it's always good to have idiots around. We all need something to point at and laugh at. You know what I mean? It's always a bit of fun. It's always a bit of fun. And so, no harm done. And of course, I appreciate everyone who takes the time to comment. I know YouTube is a very popular place, and at any given moment, there are dozens, if not hundreds, if not thousands of other live streams going on at the same time. And the fact that you've taken the time out of your busy schedule to watch a bit of Matt Taylor TV means a lot. And I do hasten to add, while I've got your attention, if you haven't subscribed already, please do. We are only 3 away from the milestone of 300. And if you do become the 300th subscriber, let me know. I'll give you a shout out, and I may well even do a video just for you. Like Mandy says, Matt Taylor, Wacky and Zany, enjoy the show. So listen, we're coming up to the hour. We've only got under 10 minutes to go. The things I wanted to express today was the sad news. Rest in power to Rick Davies, the lead singer of the absolutely awesome super band Supertramp I was listening to Supertramp and I was in single figures. I absolutely adored them. And it's the kind of music that shaped you as a man. I mean, some of the best ones was Dreamer, Give a Little Bit, Take the Long Way Home. You know, let's just list of songs by Supertramp. I mean, On the Wall, Autobiography. There's so many. I can't, you know, we all know we're all fans of Supertramp, so it was terrible news to hear that Rick Davis has passed on. Another shocking bit of news: 1,000 immigrants crossed on Saturday alone. I mean, what kind of craziness is that, eh? And then I was horrified, absolutely horrified, to learn that a dangerous paedophile has been living on Bolney Road all this time. Daniel Elliott, 35, has been sentenced to 16 years in prison, 3 years on licence. And what's more horrifying, not only for the kids who are living on Bolney Street at the moment, but it was that this Daniel was, my kids were living on the same street. Absolutely horrifying. And I do want to just point out to the wider audience, I do not know this individual. I've never seen him. The first time I've seen his mugshot was in the paper today. I've never seen him on my street. I don't know who the fuck he is. And I'm absolutely horrified and sick to the stomach that an individual of his evilness lived on the same street as me. It just goes to show you don't know who your neighbours are. You know what I mean? You do not know who your neighbours are. Listen, we're going to wrap it up. You have given the link out there. But God knows we do go to the second hour. It will only happen if someone calls in. But listen, I don't want anyone to call in because I'm watching The Boys on Amazon Prime. Another thing, looks like good news for the 13th. I was worried it was going to be a washout. I was worried that the best plans of Tommy Robinson were going to be washed away in an act of God. The skies opening and all Tommy's million March dreams washed away down the gutter. But the good news is that the weather forecast is cloudy and overcast. So there's no excuse not to go. Get yourselves up to London on the 13th of September for a family day out, quite frankly. A family day out, an opportunity to tell the status quo that you don't want it anymore. The status quo can go and swivel. The status quo, and I'm not talking about the band, can go and take a jump in the River Thames. Okay? We don't want the age-old system of control. We want to be able to express ourselves. We want to be able to put our flags up. But mind you, I still don't understand why you're putting the George flag up when St. George wasn't even British. And by all accounts, St. George never even set foot in England. I'm all about the Union Jack. I'm a Union man myself. Bruce, I'm King Arthur. That's my heritage. I'm too scared. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, this is the year. Oh, this is a private conversation. Good. Don't be scared of 13th of September, of course. The only thing we need to ensure is that, and I'm only joking when I say this. The only thing we need to ensure is that Brian Hurl and Taffy don't go down a back alley and start a spark. The last thing we want is a spark, because it's going to be a tinderbox up there. Emotions are going to be running high. So make sure you don't drink. Make sure you look after your granny, and make sure you keep Brian Hurl and Taffy away from the back alleys. You never know what they're going to get up to if then they both go down the back alleys, if you know what I mean. You must have been watching yourself for a long time. Yes, all right. Yes. Oh, were you saying you're too scared to come on? Maybe. Plantagenets. Yeah. And that goes to show you, I mean, you're reeling off Plantagenets, the rule dynasties. Rule dynasties come and go. Rule dynasties. And I love the idea that we had a Moai king from the other side of the world threatening to come over and sack the Queen as the trustee, the Queen Victoria Trust Fund. Yeah, I mean, we live in strange times, and I'm all for strange. You know, let's have the strange come in. I love a bit of strangeness. I love a bit of craziness, and that's why, you know, I boast of Matt Taylor TV being wacky, zany, and crazy. Because hey, you know, life is a bit too dull and straight at the moment. It's a bit too depressing, and that's why I'll always vote for the wacky, zany, and crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, we're coming up to the last few minutes. Thanks ever so much, everyone, for coming. Thank you, Mandy, for coming in. You know, supporters on my show get a rough time. They go through a rough time. So I understand why nobody wants to subscribe, but like, I'm only asking you. We're 3 away from the 300. Okay, it's a big milestone. I've been here a few times. No doubt I won't get to 350. The channel will be sabotaged one way or the other. But listen, I can assure you, whoever is the 300th subscriber will get a shout out, and maybe even a personalised video. Now, that you can't go wrong. Hey, you can't go wrong. So, if you are watching this and you're not subscribed, please hit the subscriber button. Tell your nearest and dearest. What I mean by that is tell your granny. Tell your granny. Okay? Say, watch Matt Taylor TV. It's crazy. And of course, it's not only the 8 o'clock shows. It's there's loads of videos going out. And if you look in the show notes, you'll see all my other Matt Taylor channels. So what I'm trying to get at is to fully take advantage and fully what's the word I'm looking for? Fully enjoy the whole Matt Taylor experience. You've got to subscribe to all my channels, okay? So we're coming up to an hour. Thank you ever so much. Let's just take a moment to remember the brilliance of Rick Davies, sadly passed away today. Rest in power, Rick Davies. The 1,000 immigrants crossed on Saturday via Dover. What the hell is going on? The Daniel Elliott story, you never know who your neighbour is. And it's scary, because in this case, someone living on Bolney Road is a dirty pedo who's just been sentenced to 16 years for the most vicious attacks upon children. And I'm sick to the stomach, and I actually somewhat very angry to learn that we had someone like that living on my street. The good news is the 13th is cloudy and overcast, so there's no reason not to enjoy a wonderful day. Something I do want to talk about in the week, the 3-Eye Atlas. Are the aliens coming? And wouldn't that be amazing? And, you know, wouldn't it be a shame if it's all bloody faked? The last thing we want is another fake. There's another psyop put upon us. And that's something I definitely want to talk about in the week. And very strange that Adrian Allen, Theatre of the Mind, has had the ex-DC in the lead investigator in the Belfield stalking case, Janet Percival. If you haven't seen it, I suggest you check it out. Very interesting. Talk about keeping the drama going. I don't know how this is going to end well, and I haven't seen anything like it. No, I haven't seen anything like it. Janet Percival, currently retired. She retired in December 2024, and she's now living out in Costa Rica, and telling us what she makes of Alex Belfield. Very strange. like I said, never seen anything like it, and no doubt we won't see anything like it again. And of course, last but not least, but it should have been at the top, let's pay some respect to Kaylee's church. This excuse of these misogynistic hate speeches coming in and saying it ain't my fault I throw misogynistic hate speech around in Kaylee's church. It's Kaylee's fault because she doesn't lock the door on us. Absolutely rubbish. And on that note, thank you, and I shall catch you again soon. Let's play with a promotional video, and I shall see you again tomorrow. Until then, remember, Mandy Marlin loves you just as much as I love you too.
You hit that button, thought you'd shine, but the words you spoke weren't worth a dime. You strutted loud with no self-doubt. Now the crowd's all laughing, pointing out you're the fool on the stage, crying foul, crying rage. When the spotlight turns, you can't take the page. We just saw what you gave, nothing more, nothing less. You can't take the heat, don't make the mess. You beg the watchers to take you serious, but your antics just look delirious. When the comments bite, when the laughter's near, you run to the law, but the joke's still clear. You're the fool on the stage, crying foul, crying rage. When the spotlight turns, you can't take the page. We just saw what you gave, nothing more, nothing less. You can't take the heat, don't make the mess. You beg the watchers to take you serious, but your antics just looked delirious. When the comments bite, when the laughter's near, you run to the law, but the joke's still clear. Oh, you're the fool on the stage, crying foul, crying rage. When the spotlight turns, you can't take the page. We just saw what you gave, nothing more, nothing less. You can't take the heat, don't make the mess. Own your words or laugh along. Don't pretend the crowd is wrong. Respect is earned, not bought or paid. Stand up tall, don't run misled. You're the fool on the stage, crying foul, crying rage. When the spotlight turns, you can't take the page. We just saw what you gave, nothing more, nothing less. If you can't take the heat, don't make the mess. So if you can't take the laugh, don't play this game.